The global regulatory race around crypto has officially been on for a while, and one company in the space, aka Ripple, has been planting their seeds for a while to truly take over once we finally have regulatory clarity. We're going to be talking about this. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And also, don't forget to follow me on all social media platforms down in the description below and join the free Discord to make sure that you guys are crushing these crypto cycles and taking a ton of profits. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about what Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderoty announced last year at the end of December leading into 2024. We have from Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple is heading into 2024 with a compliance-first mindset, as we've always done. Now, from Stuart Alderoty, we also have capping off incredible momentum in 2023 with the Central Bank of Ireland approving Ripple as a registered VSP to offer compliant crypto services. This year, we also received our full major payments institution license from the MAS, and the Dubai Financial Services Authority approved XRP for use by licensed institutions within the DIFC. Now, this is a perfect example of a planted seed to truly be embraced around regulated areas. And what am I talking about? Well, remember what the Central Bank of Ireland, the full focus of this actually was. If we scroll down, we can see from the Strategic Initiatives SVP at Ripple, they said the Central Bank of Ireland, its addition of Ripple Markets to its list of registered virtual asset service providers is a significant step forward for a business in the region. Ireland has positioned itself as a supportive jurisdiction for the virtual assets industry and consequently as a great place for businesses like Ripple's to operate, reinforcing our decision to select Ireland as our primary base for EU regulation. Now, we know MiCA has rolled out. It's still rolling out, still in the process of being fully embraced, but they were already ready for MiCA during this time. By providing regulatory clarity for the industry, Ireland and the EU more broadly are boosting confidence in the digital assets, payments, and fintech ecosystem and demonstrating their commitment to the long-term development of these industries. Now, as we do really kind of build upon this, I know that this is not new news, right? Like, we already know about this announcement, but remember what this is doing in the short term and even in the long term. In the short term, it might not be much, right? Oh, they're working with regulators, they're working with these central banks, they're trying to get these licenses, whatever, it doesn't mean much, right? But in the long term, right, once we get the green light for crypto regulations, which right now, regulations around crypto, the race is officially on. It's happening. By the end of this video, you will know what I mean. Ripple is already at the forefront of this. They are prepared to take over once we see regulations greenlit. Now, over here, February 2nd of this year, we have new frameworks for regulating decentralized finance. Again, already preparing for regulated DeFi. Why? Well, it's because they want to target institutional players around DeFi. And they're already preparing the waters for XRP to be the dominant player around institutional DeFi. They've been putting out post after post, hiring around the XRP ledger innovation around DeFi, around institutional DeFi for RWA tokenization services, payment services, things like that. Now, they do mention that DeFi is still in its infancy. They're expecting it to reach 601 billion by 2032. But remember that one institutional player really kind of getting in on the DeFi train, that could ultimately change those projections very quick, especially once we do start to see, hundreds of billions of dollars, even possibly trillions of dollars flowing through DeFi. I mean, it's a game changer. But the challenge, which is DeFi is still not, regulated. The technology is still misunderstood. There's a lot of issues here. Now, many regulators are already recognizing that innovation is tightly tied to regulatory clarity and are responding in kind. Major governing bodies, including the International Organization of Securities Commissions and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, have already begun early conversations regarding decentralized finance. And the CFTC is also at the forefront of this. All three of these names here, these governing bodies, all three of them have connections back to Ripple and are working with Ripple. It's wild. This is why I say focus on what is happening here, because Ripple has already infiltrated these governing bodies outside of the SEC, because the SEC does not mean anything to crypto, in my opinion. I've talked about this on multiple occasions. Ripple is already working with the names that actually matter when it comes to regulations. They're already working with the big names that are calling the shots around regulations. So when the time is ready, because that's what we are waiting for, because remember, I've talked about how all of this is planned. When the time is ready, Ripple is ready to take over. Over here, we have from Subjective Views, new crypto regulation virtual roundtable with Ripple, Circle, MIT, Goldman Sachs, and Citi. Look at those names real quick. Take in the fact that these are the names tied to this virtual roundtable. A recent virtual roundtable titled The U.S. Election and Its Impact on Crypto Asset Regulation highlighted the crypto community's frustration with the current administration's stance. These are the attendees. Lauren Beliv, head of U.S. Public Policy and Government at Ripple. Brent McIntosh, Chief Legal Officer and Corporate Secretary at Citi. We also have the founder and research scientist at MIT. This is also the co-creator of Libra DM, which, if you guys don't know, that is Facebook's old cryptocurrency that they were trying to launch. Then we also have the head of regulatory affairs and regulatory counsel at Lucca. Hope that I'm saying that name correctly. I actually never heard of this company, if I'm being honest. And then we also have Circle, VP and Deputy General Counsel of Global Policy at Circle, and also the head of public policy digital assets at Goldman Sachs. Regulatory clarity is still absent in the U.S., largely in part due to the weaponization of Gary Gensler by the Democratic Party. Now that Trump has recognized the need for crypto regulations, we should be seeing a possible vote of confidence from Kamala Harris if she focuses on crypto policy at 2024 Dem convention in about 2 weeks. Now, this is all of those individuals that were at this roundtable. It's kind of crazy that these are the types of discussions that are now ongoing with some of the largest players out there in the TradFi space. I mean, Goldman Sachs, Citi, just to name a few. Like, I find this very interesting that Ripple is at these roundtables, but it's not surprising to me. The reason why it's not surprising to me is because Ripple has been working with these players for so long. They've been in these heavy discussions with the largest organizations out there that actually pull the strings around what matters. So this is just another addition to all those meetings that Ripple has been having, and not to mention that Lauren Beliv should be focused on, because she has been at a lot of these major roundtable discussions, even with, for example, the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Now, also, when we talk about regulations, let's address what's happening outside of the U.S. Russia. We have here the announcement that Russia passes the bill to allow international payments with cryptocurrency. Big shout out to Smoke Dog for this, because he built upon this announcement not once, not twice, 4 times. We have, why is this news important? Here's the bigger picture analysis of the significance of Russia passing a bill to allow international transfers with cryptocurrency. In a July 2024 CBDC report, it is documented that Russia's CBDC pilot program has been successful and will extend the number of participants from 34 to 1,200 banks and merchants in the second half of 2024. This is very significant. 34 to 1,200, a big jump. There's only 396 operating banks in Russia, meaning that the 1,200 participants from the CBDC will extend to every bank in Russia. Additionally, merchants include restaurants, malls, bars, etc. So when the Russian CBDC is extended to majority of the citizens, international cross-border transactions with other countries need to be performed with these CBDCs. Therefore, Russia is conveniently passing legislation to allow international cross-border cryptocurrencies right before they ramp up CBDC usage in 2024. A digitally native asset for FX exchange is going to be needed to allow Russian CBDCs to go cross-border. Check this out. Here we have the full-on announcement of the 34 to 1,200 banks and merchants in the second half of 2024. You can also see the July events itself. Then, over here, we have the list of banks in Russia as well. Every single Russian bank is tapped in with this, but just imagine all of the other additional, banks out there that are tapped in. I mean, this is very substantial. I mean, this is something that everyone should be focused on right now. Because imagine the pressure that this is putting on the US and every other nation as well. Now we have Russian CBDC extending from 34 participants to 1,200 banks and merchants in 2024. CBDCs are coming. They are happening. After passing the new law to allow the use of cryptocurrency for international payments, it is expected that the law will take effect in September of this year. The first crypto transactions could start by the end of the year. Faster crypto adoption plus USD stablecoin will be a saving grace for the United States. Oh, very interesting to have, Ripple pushing for a USD stablecoin at a time where we now have, from this article, that a saving grace for the US is probably faster crypto adoption, particularly embracing USD stablecoins. Wow, what a coincidence there, right? And here we actually have Russian lawmakers last night approved the new law permitting the use of cryptocurrency for international payments. Reuters reports that the law is expected to take effect in September and the first crypto transactions could take place before the year ends. This is wild to me. Everything is aligning perfectly. And outside of this, remember what this meeting was about with the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Not to even mention that Ripple just recently announced tokenization of U.S. Treasuries. But this was regarding CBDC's tokenization and stablecoins within the broader U.S. financial ecosystem. Now, also over here, we have Brazil already approved a law that regulates crypto assets ahead of the recent Russia's pro-crypto legislation. BRICS is coming to crypto, Brazil, and even Russia. And here we actually have Banco Central do Brazil, how crypto assets will interact with traditional financial markets and other markets, interconnection of crypto assets industry with CBDC, PIX, open finance. Congress recently approved a law that regulates virtual assets in Brazil. And also remember that Brazil is already tapped in with Ripple. They are. And Ripple also already dominates 90% of the FX market. Like, as we really look at what's going on here, I do believe that Ripple could very well be the saving grace for the US. 90% of the FX market already tapped in. They're now launching a USD stablecoin. They have the AMM, they have these liquidity pools. It's the deepest liquidity token out there and network as well. Ripple is already working with some of the largest regulators out there. They're pushing frameworks with some of the biggest names out there as well. It's crazy to me that from 2020 to now, the Ripple and the XRP name have been tainted to make retail think, oh, let's not invest into that. Let's not buy that. It's the perfect narrative if you think about it. Right? Make something look terrible, make it not attractive for retail, and then all at once we push the fact that now Ripple and XRP are going to be integrated within the US financial system as a weapon of choice against BRICS. Like, just imagine how crazy that would actually be. But remember, XRP and the XRPL can be utilized by any nation. It can be utilized by Russia, it can be utilized by Brazil, it can be utilized by any nation out there. But Ripple specifically is a US-based company that, in my opinion, would be in the best interest of the US to fully embrace. That's why I'm focused on the USD stablecoin and faster crypto adoption that could very well be the saving grace for the United States. That is very significant. So, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.